Hi yogis! This video is bringing you back bends. So we'll be working through all sorts of different variations of back bends. Wee back bends, bigger back bends, and it's not always for beginners. So if you like to dig a little deeper, I'll give you the options to do so. So let's begin seated on our mats. If we don't have a yoga mat, maybe a little towel or just a soft cushion, or soft cushioning on the floor, we will be spending a little bit of time on our knees occasionally here and there. So just keep that in mind. If you need a little bit of padding, a little bit of blanket, grab that for yourself before you begin. I'm going to come down onto my mat and join you there. Coming into a cross-legged position and just facing the top of our mat. I'm going to face the front so that you can see me a little bit better. So just coming into an easeful seat, whatever that looks like for you. Perhaps getting one of those extra blankets you have at home, or just pull one off the bed and place it under your tail if you do feel like you just want a little bit of elevation in the hips and a little bit of sinking in the knees, and it'll feel just a little more comfortable perhaps for you. So finding that seat. Take your time. And when you do find yourself in some sort of seated shape, I invite you to close your eyes. Closing our eyes to remove distractions, to cut off sort of any kind of stimuli around ourselves. Maybe there's a sink full of dishes calling our name. Maybe there's some clothes on the floor that we haven't quite got to. Let's just leave them there. They're fine where they are. They'll be there when we're finished. Our time together is such a short time, so make it just for you. Acknowledge all those things around you, and then just let them be. Just like you, let yourself be. Do something that you need, away from everybody else and everything else, just for you. Focusing the breath in through the nose and out through the nose. And then slowly finding a little bit more ease in our seat. So finding our shoulders over our hips. So maybe we find we're leaning forward or sending our chest forward. Let's go ahead and send our shoulders over our hips and see if we can inhale through the rib cage to lift the rib cage up away from the hips, to bring the belly in a little bit and feel just a little taller and a little more of a structure in our seat. Perhaps it eased off a few of those back muscles just to come up a little bit. And to bring the belly in, to engage the core very gently, creating an easeful seat. Relaxing the shoulders, bringing the ears roughly around where the shoulders are. So again, we tend to lean forward in our lives. Maybe we can just pull the chin back a little bit and find that nice stacked spine. And as we do, as we inhale through our upper rib cage, through our upper chest, pulling the belly in, relaxing the shoulders, noticing and feeling a little more grounded through our seat. Perhaps it's still a challenge to sit in this shape, and that's okay. One more nice big breath in through the nose and out through the nose. And we can have our eyes closed if you like to, or gently flutter them open. Beautiful. Our next inhale, scoop our arms up into the sky above the crown of our head, and exhale, hands into the center of the chest. Let's do a couple more sun breaths. Inhale, bring those arms up above, and exhale down into heart center. One more, rotating those shoulders, open up those fingers, open up those arms, stretch high, and bring it down into our heart center again. Wonderful. Relaxing the arms, relaxing the hands, maybe on our lap, maybe in our lap or on our knees, whatever feels nice and comfortable for you. Relaxing the shoulders and still maintaining that nice height we created. Breathing in through the upper chest. Pulling the belly in on the exhale, maintaining that lift. Inhale, we lift. And exhale, letting the right ear fall to the right shoulder. Just using the weight of the head. We're still maintaining our nice height in our spine. And just starting with a little tiny back bend. Little neck bend. Little cervical spine bend to the side. If we'd wish to feel just a little bit more here, let's bring our right hand, fingertips just to tickle the temple of our head on the left side, and just letting that palm rest on the head, using the weight of the arm. Nothing else, just the weight of the arm. To feel just a little bit more down the shoulder, let's walk the left hand away from ourselves. So walk the left arm away from ourselves, just finger walking those fingers to the side. You may feel something, you may not. It may be something you enjoy, or retract the arm if you didn't. So just letting that left arm fall to your side, letting the fingertips rest and the arm be heavy. Beautiful. Let's look down toward our right knee. Just bring our gaze down, tilting the face down slightly, feeling a little more in the back of the neck. And then releasing the head with our right hand, bring the chin in toward the chest. Let the head hang heavy toward the chest. And take one more breath. And then bringing the chin back up, the nose back up to neutral. Just take a moment, maybe roll the shoulders. And then we'll go ahead and take an inhale through the upper chest to lift. Exhale to bring the belly in and let the left ear fall to the left shoulder. Again, the hands can be wherever you like, maybe on the lap, maybe on the knees, maybe outstretched. Just feeling the length in the side of the neck. Then maybe using the weight of the left hand, bringing the left fingertips just to tickle the temple on the right side, using the left palm to secure on the head, and just the weight of the arm. Nothing else, just the weight of the arm. To feel a slight bit more, you can finger walk our right set of fingertips away from ourselves toward our side, so just lengthening out the right arm, feeling a little or a lot. Feeling height still in our spine. If it's a little bit too intense with the right arm, just let the arm come back toward you, resting, letting the shoulder hang away from you. And then starting to look down toward our left knee. So just turning the face down slightly toward the ground. And just one more little breath here. Releasing the left hand, let the chin fall to the chest. Relax the neck. Breathing through the upper chest, letting the shoulders relax back. And then as we inhale, let's bring our nose up to the ceiling, arms come up with us, reach up above the head, kiss those palms together above the head and drag them back into heart center on the exhale, palms into heart. One more sun breath. Inhale, arms up, big reach. And exhale through the heart center. Beautiful. Bringing the heels of the hand, the end of the wrist and the heel of the hand, just to the end of the knee. So even if it's not quite on the kneecap or onto the upper thigh, we're just sort of placing the edge of our wrist onto the edge of those knees, as long as our arms will go, still maintaining that nice height. Open chest, lifting up, inhale through the upper rib cage to the upper chest, and exhale to pull the belly in to feel that height, to feel the structure in the back. Spread those fingers out wide. Let's take an inhale, drag the heels of the hands toward the hip creases, send the heart forward, send the chin forward, and inhale. Squeeze those elbows back. And as we exhale, sliding the heels of the hands back to the tips of the knees, tuck the chin in, send the back of the spine back, and curve yourself in. Beautiful. Inhale, drag the heels of the hands back to the hip crease, send the heart up to lift, send the chin up, big inhale. And just go with your breath. Exhale as you slide those hands away, round the spine and tuck the chin. Send those arms out long. Inhale toward the center. Squeeze the elbows back, exhale to round. 2 more, inhale toward the hip crease, heart lifts, elbows back. Beautiful, and rounding forward. One more time, coming onto an inhale, sending the heart up to the ceiling, up to the sky. And exhale, rounding through. Coming back to a neutral shape, take a moment to shift your hips if you'd like to. And we'll go ahead and walk ourselves forward into a tabletop shape. So I'm just going to turn myself around this way. Coming into an all-fours shape, bringing our wrists under shoulders and our knees under hips. Just take a moment to feel your balance between the hands, between the knees. Perhaps you'd like to tuck the toes or press into the tops of the feet. That's totally up to you and what you feel comfortable with in your ankles. Pressing the ground away, feeling the upper arm bone kind of spin open and away, feeling the lower half of the arm come in toward yourself. So feeling lots of strength here, pushing the ground away. Feeling the finger pads, the pads of the knuckles, the heels of the hands and the thumb. Shifting the hips a little bit side to side. We'll start to send our tail up, dropping the belly toward the ground. Pull the mat toward you to lift the chin forward, to lift the chest forward. The heart opens here and curve into the spine. Let's take one full breath here, in and out. Another inhale here as we reach our tail, reach our chest. Exhale, push the mat away from you slightly to tuck the tail in around the spine and draw the chin in toward the chest. Maybe looking between the knees a little bit. One full breath. On the next inhale, flipping our tail up, dropping our belly, lifting our chest and chin forward, reaching up. And exhale to round the spine. So one breath, one move at this point. Curving in. Inhale to flare open, lift that heart open, press into the palms, and exhale to round yourself back in, tucking in. One more time, flip that tail, drop the belly, pull the heart forward, use the grip of the mat, and exhale to round yourself back in toward the belly. Wonderful. Coming back to a neutral shape here. Take a moment, feel the balance between our hands, and then we'll go ahead and send our right leg behind ourselves. So a nice long line. Press into the ball of the foot. So sending that foot back, peeling the toes back, and just lengthening out through the body. Let's press nice and firm into the ground with our palms. You may find that moving the left hand out maybe an inch, so out to the left side, makes the balance feel just a little bit better. So what we're going to do here is press the ground away from you, lengthen those arms, and start to push the mat away from you as you press the foot back behind you. Sorry, I got a little tongue-tied there. Pressing the heel of the foot back, so pressing the ball of the foot back, pressing into the ground. Beautiful. So we're pushing forward with the mat with our hands and lifting back with the ball of the foot through our back. Wonderful. Inhale to reach that foot behind you. Exhale to bring the knee in toward the chest. Point the toes so you have a little bit of room and scoop the knee up into the chest. Press into the palms and kind of cave in the back a little bit so you can bring it in close. Hold for one more breath. And then inhale to lengthen the leg behind you. Nice long line. Exhale to scoop that knee in, press the ground away, bring it up into the belly, and inhale to lengthen behind you. Exhale to bring the knee in. And inhale to extend. Let's keep that leg extended, and perhaps we'd like to join in with a little bit of balance. We can start to walk the left set of fingertips forward, raising the arm up off the ground, reaching the arm away from the leg. So inhale as we reach. Exhale, knee to the elbow under the body. Give yourself room. And inhale to lengthen. Exhale toward yourself underneath the body. Inhale, lengthen out the arm and leg. Exhale, knee to elbow underneath. And inhale to lengthen. Feel the length in the body. Start to bend the right knee. Reach behind you with the left hand. Find the top of the right foot or the ankle. And start to press the foot or the ankle into the hand. Lifting up that leg. Feeling a back bend in the lower half of the body. More in the lower half. And then start to send our gaze forward, send our rib cage forward, and come into more of a full back bend here. So let's take 3 breaths here. Pressing the foot into the hand, lifting the ribs forward. Big breath. Feel that openness in the belly. Lots of space. One more. Beautiful. Release the leg, extend the leg and the arm, and then place the hand back down. We'll place our right knee back down and shift our hips a little side to side. Take a moment here to notice the difference in each side of the body. Let's take a couple cat-cows here in between. So the tail comes up, drop the belly, lift the chest and chin forward. Exhale to round yourself in. Inhale to flare back open. And exhale to round back in. Come back to your neutral spine. On the inhale, take a moment to feel your balance again. And then sending the left leg behind ourselves, flexing through the ball of the foot. Send it behind you. Pressing down with our hands and pressing the mat away from you as you push the ball of the foot behind you. Feeling a stretch, feeling as if that leg is trying to come out or grow longer from our body. Beautiful. One more. Feel that length and stretch. Push the ground away from you and push the mat away from you with your hands. Inhale. Exhale, knee in toward the chest, the left knee. Take a moment here, point the toes, press the ground away and bring that knee into your body as close as you can. Inhale to lengthen the leg. Exhale, knee in toward the chest again, as far toward the chest as you can get. And inhale to lengthen. Exhale, drawing it in. Inhale, lengthen. Bring it in once more. And lengthen that leg. If you'd like a little balance, let's start to walk the right hand forward, lifting the right arm off of the ground, reaching away from one another. Beautiful. Inhale to reach long. Exhale, knee to elbow underneath you. Inhale, reach long. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale, reach. Exhale, knee to elbow. We'll inhale and reach nice and long. Bend that left knee. Reach behind you with the right hand. Find the top of the left foot or the ankle and press the foot into the hand to feel some length, to feel some bend in the lower half of the body. Beautiful. Sending our heart forward, lifting our gaze, pressing into our front palm, sending the rib cage forward, press into the hand. 2 more breaths here, nice and long. Feel space in the belly. 1 more. Lifting up, feel that bend. Beautiful. Release the left foot, lengthen both the arm and the leg out. Plant the right palm, bring the left knee back down. Let's take a moment to switch the hips side to side. Bringing the knees together and bringing our hips toward our heels. So untucking the toes, if we did tuck them. And walking the hands forward, nice and long. Resting the chin down, resting the forehead down if you can. If you'd like to or need to, stacking the fists underneath the forehead. In through the nose, out through the nose. Let's take a moment to check in. Notice how we're feeling. Notice the temperature in the body, the rate of the heartbeat, and the pace of breath. Perhaps you find you're taking deeper breaths now, bigger, fuller breaths now. Wonderful. Just swaying the hips a couple times back and forth if that feels nice for you. Starting to extend the arms if we brought them in. Walking those fingertips really far away from you. Gliding ourselves forward, bringing our shoulders over wrists. Separate the knees a little bit, bring them out hip width apart, and bring the wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. Tucking through the toes, lifting our hips up and back. Lengthening out the legs, coming into our first downward dog shape. So take a moment here, pedal the heels, take your dog for a little walk. Maybe bend the knees, stretch into the toes and the ankles, sway the hips, do what you like to do here. And then finding our comfortable version of downward dog. So let's go ahead and make sure we're distributing the weight evenly between our finger pads. We maybe lean a little extra weight toward the inside of the hands, the thumb and the pointer finger, to take a little pressure off the wrists. Pressing the ground away from you. Lifting the tail up high, bringing the belly in toward your body. So inhale through the upper chest. And exhale to scoop the belly in. Inhale, drawing forward to a plank shape. Wrists under shoulders, exhale, press yourself down, lower down, elbows bend in toward the rib cage. Set the hips down, untuck the toes, inhale to a cobra pose. And exhale to glide ourselves down, tucking the chin into the chest, resting the forehead down. Next, inhale, bringing our gaze up toward the edge of the yoga mat. Bring our elbows in, shoulders away from ears, start to press into the palms, look across the ground to where the ground meets the wall, maybe up the wall to where the wall meets the ceiling, and then coming back down into that semicircle down. Inhale, bring the gaze up. Use the hands if you'd like to, press into the tops of the feet, find some support here, engage the core, and then exhale, draw yourself down. One more time. Inhale, cobra, flow, bring yourself up, use the hands if you'd like to, protect your back, and then lowering down. Tucking the toes, inhale up and back to downward dog, send those hips back, pedal the heels, take a moment here for yourself. And then we'll have a look between our hands. Let's walk toward the hands into a forward fold shape. To the top of the mat or to the top of where we were seated in the first place. And just letting our torso hang heavy, maybe soften the knees a little bit here. Hinge the hips a lot. Let our arms be heavy. The head be heavy, maybe shaking no, no, no. And yes, yes, yes. Just letting the weight of the head go. Let's inhale to a half lift. So bringing the hands to our shins, lengthening the arms, breathe through the upper chest. Exhale to scoop the belly in, hinge the hips and fold deeply. Inhale, big tall stretch, come all the way up, arms reach up above you. And exhale through the heart center. Wonderful, let's do that again. Inhale, reach up, big tall stretch. And exhale, hands to heart. Beautiful. Finding ourselves into a mountain pose or our version of mountain pose. So bringing the feet hip width apart. Finding our shoulders over our hips over our heels. And just kind of rolling those shoulders back a little bit, opening the chest. Let's open the palms toward the front of the mat or toward the front of the body. Close the eyes, ears over shoulders. Take a moment to feel grounded in our feet and lifted through the rib cage. Inhale. Let's take a big inhale, swoop our arms up to the sky, and exhale, hands to heart center. Bring your arms behind ourselves. We'll interlace those fingers. Send our fists toward the ground, the shoulders away from the ears. Let's start to bring the chin up toward the sky. Pressing the fists down as you do. Sending the rib cage up, big inhale through the upper chest. Scooping the belly in, feel that pull and that strength of the core. Then drawing the chin back toward the chest, arms come up with you. And exhale, hands to heart center. Let's work our way into a really nice, easy camel pose. So using the heels of our hands to begin, first making sure we have our hip width apart feet. And then we'll bring the heels of the hands just kind of above our hip bone. So you can kind of poke at yourself and notice where the hip bone is at the back. And just bringing the heel of the hand here to separate, or to support, separating the fingertips. So we're letting the fingers kind of flare out a little bit. I'm gonna go to the other side, just placing the heel of the hand at the hip or just below, just above, finding that nice comfy spot for yourself. Letting the shoulders fall away from the ears. So we'll press down into that fleshy spot of our body, kind of pulling it down. And then the elbows toward one another. So this could be enough for you, enough in the shoulders, enough in the spine, it could very well be. Or we'll deepen this back bend just a little bit. So pushing into just the heels of the hands, pushing a little bit into the heels of the hands, feeling it here. Starting to gaze up. Send the inhale through the upper chest. So we're really focusing on lifting the heart to the ceiling. Not a lot to do with sending our chin up, but if that feels nice for you, feel free to add that in. So let's inhale through the upper chest, lifting the rib cage away from hips, pressing the heels of the hands into the lower back, letting the hips come forward a little bit. Inhale, upper chest. Exhale, perhaps a little more of a bend. Inhale, upper chest. And perhaps a little more of a bend. Beautiful. Gathering the chin back into chest, sending our hips back to where they were. Release the hands, bring them up above the head. Exhale, hands through the heart center. Wonderful. This time bringing the fist to that spot. So just a little closer in toward our sacrum. Bringing our elbows back, opening up a little bit more, pressing into those nice flat parts of our fist. Let's inhale, upper chest lifted away from the ribs, away from the hips, hips away from, ribs away from hips. Oh my goodness. Inhale. Exhale, perhaps hinging or sending those hips a little bit forward. Inhale, upper chest, lift the ribs. And exhale, sending the hips forward. Let's take 3 breaths here, wherever we ended up. Squeezing those elbows in, shoulders away from ears. Maybe sending the chin up. Beautiful, just one more breath. Maybe a little bit more forward. Wonderful, chin toward the chest. Let the hips come back to neutral. Arms come up with us, big reach. Hands through the heart center, really soften the knees, and we'll take a really slow forward fold. Feeling that low back unravel. Feeling that low back just start to uncurl. And take a nice breath or 2 in your forward fold, just to reverse that back bend. Beautiful. Coming up a half lift. Big inhale through the upper chest. Exhale, belly in and fold. Inhale, rise tall all the way up, reach, reach, reach. Exhale, hands through the heart center. Big sun breath again, reach up. And exhale through. Wonderful. We're going to reach up in a big sun breath and bring ourselves down into a forward fold. So take your time to make your way there. And soften through. Bend so deep in the knees that we can plant the palms down on the ground and step back into a plank shape. So big step back with those feet. Bringing our wrists under shoulders, press the ground away. Take an inhale. Exhale, push through the toes, bend the elbows, come down. Inhale, come into a cobra pose. Exhale to lower down. Inhale, cobra flow. Again, inhale up. Exhale, release down, tuck the chin. One more time, inhale, cobra. Exhale, chin in toward the chest. Inhale, up and back to downward dog. Pedal those heels, sway the hips, do what you need to do. In through the nose, out through the nose. Beautiful. Taking a great big inhale, sending our right leg up and back, pushing through the ball of the foot, press through the heels of the hands, a thumb and the finger, and just take a moment here with that leg nice and long. One more breath. Beautiful. Bending the knee, pointing the toe behind you, and bringing the heel close toward the glute. So sending the right knee up, bringing the right heel toward the glute. Taking a moment here, perhaps pressing a little more into our left foot and sending our right knee up a little more, keeping our shoulders square to the top of the mat. Wonderful. Lengthening out that leg, bringing the knee in toward the chest. Glide yourself forward and step into a lunge shape, bringing the right foot forward. Beautiful. Let's set our left foot down, or left knee down. Toes tucked or not, that's up to you. Planting through the left hand, reaching up through the right. Just take a little twist. Wonderful. Exhale, bringing our right arm back down. And just take a moment here in your low kneeling lunge. Nice breath. And then untucking our left set of toes if we did tuck them. Pressing into our left hand, reach the right arm up, coming into that twist. And then sending the right arm behind you, pointing the fingertips toward where the toe is. Maybe you'd like to build here. Maybe this is where you stay and this feels really perfect for you. Stay here if you'd like to. If we want to try something new, bend into the left knee and see if we can reach for that left foot, the top of the foot, either on the inside or on the outside. And then just allowing our foot to fall, or our right knee to fall open, so coming onto the outside of the right foot. And then maybe you find you could look back toward the hand, peel open the heart. If we don't feel quite perfect or safe holding onto our foot, could gently let go of the foot, bring our right palm onto the inside of the right thigh, and just lengthen out the arm, sending our gaze back, sending our heart open. And then coming back to center. Setting our right hand down, tuck our left set of toes, then step up and back to downward dog. Let's pedal those heels. Setting ourselves up for downward dog. Inhale to send our left leg up and back. Nice big reach through the ball of the foot. Press into the heels of the hands, the thumb and the finger, and we'll hold for one more breath. Nice inhale to reach. Exhale, knee toward the chest. Step through for a lunge, a kneeling lunge. So we'll send our right knee down. Pressing into the right palm, lifting up the left arm and fingertips toward the ceiling for a little twist. Beautiful. Taking our left arm down, coming back into your nice low kneeling lunge, and just take a moment here for yourself. Maybe the toes tucked, maybe it's not. That's totally up to you. And then we'll go back into our twist, send our left arm up, and then turn it a little bit into a twisted back bend. So we'll go ahead, if we'd like to, lift up our right leg, reach back with the left hand. Sorry about that, reach back with the left hand and see if that feels good for you first, to open up the shoulder and to kind of bend the chest open, or bend into the right foot and reach with the left hand, either on the inside of the foot or the outside. Pulling our shoulder open, our chest open. And then at this point, if we'd like to open up the left knee, coming onto the outside of the left foot, and then opening up the heart a little bit more, feel free to do that. If holding onto the foot was not our cup of tea, we could let go, bring the left hand onto the inside of the left thigh and just straighten out that arm, sending our gaze back, sending the heart open. Beautiful. One more breath. And then bring ourselves back to center, bringing our left knee back in. Left arm comes down. We'll tuck our right set of toes and step up and back to downward dog, both feet back. Pedal the heels. Let's take a little vinyasa flow to get rid of any stagnancy we might feel in the hips. Come forward on your inhale. Exhale to push through and lower down. Let's do a little cobra flow. Inhale, pressing into the tops of the feet. Bring the gaze up. Exhale to curve yourself back down, chin into chest. Inhale to come back up again. Exhale, chin to chest. One more. Inhale, cobra flow, come up. Long neck. Exhale to bring it back down. Beautiful. Let's press into our palms and find a little bit of anchoring or a little bit of rooting into our rib cage and our hips, so we can kind of, it's like we're surfing on our bellies a little bit. Bringing our, let's do our left arm first. The left arm parallel to the top of the mat. Our left fingers point to the right and our left elbow to the left. Pressing into the forearm and the palm, just enough to raise the chest, maybe a little bit more. Pressing into the tops of the feet. Bring our right arm just underneath the shoulder and the elbow pinned back. So just taking a moment here to feel kind of square or balanced. Pressing into the tops of the feet nice and firm, bending into the right knee, reach back for the right foot, the top of the foot or the ankle. I personally really like the ankle because it creates this little shelf here that you can flex into and hold into quite nicely. But if you're only able to hold onto the foot, that's totally okay too. So just going ahead and pressing the ankle into the hand, just slightly to feel that energy through the body. Keeping the chest high, feeling a little more of a back bend, so it's up to you if you'd like to push a little more into the forearm, a little press to create a little more height in the chest. And then release the foot, release the leg, and we'll switch hands. So we'll do it a couple times just to kind of get the sense of what we're trying to feel here. So our left palm underneath our left shoulder, we're using our right forearm this time, parallel to the top of the mat. Fingertips are pointing to the left. Pressing into the tops of the feet. Beautiful. Bending into the left knee, reaching back with the left hand, finding the ankle or the foot. Flexing through if you did find the ankle, and just pressing the foot or the ankle into the hand. Pressing into the top of the right foot to support. And just feel what you need to feel here. Just get a sense for a little back bend. Beautiful. Release it down. Come down onto, let's bring our forehead down onto the tops of our hands and just wiggle the hips a little bit back and forth. Beautiful. Let's come back up to where we were. So first bringing our left forearm parallel to the top of the mat. Bring ourselves open as much as we want to, feeling grounded in our hips, feeling square in our shoulders and the top of the mat. Beautiful. Pressing into the tops of the feet. Reaching back with our right hand, bending the right knee, finding the ankle or the foot, pressing into the hand. Come into a deeper back bend here. Let the shoulder be pulled along with it. Notice what you feel on the left side of the body. Pressing into the top of the left foot. Feel that energy. Let's stay for 3 more breaths here. Keep the momentum going. Push the ankle or the foot into the hand. Feel powerful in this position. Find that little edge where you kind of want to let go, and we'll take 1 more. Beautiful. Release, come down, wiggle those hips. Maybe it feels nice to bend the knees and windshield wipe the lower halves of the legs side to side. Beautiful. Let's come back to the center, press back into the tops of the feet. Exchange our left arm with our right. Forearm top, parallel to the top of the mat. Bring our left palm underneath the shoulder. Pressing into the forearm enough that we feel raised up, we feel grounded in our hips. Feel equal balance. Pressing into the tops of the feet. Take a moment for yourself here to feel and to notice. And then bending into the left knee, reaching back with the left hand, finding the ankle or the top of the foot. And let's press the ankle or the foot into the hand. Allow the shoulder to be pulled back, the chest to open, and feel a deeper back bend. Press into the top of the right foot. Notice what you feel on the right side of the body here. And we'll stay for 3. Push the ankle or the foot into the hand. You've got this. Feel the power in the body. Again, that little edge where you kind of want to let go, and we're going to hold on for 1 more breath. Beautiful. Releasing the ankle, come back down to rest. Move in whatever way feels good for you. So maybe windshield wiping, maybe just wiggling the hips. And we'll do 2 breaths in rest. Beautiful. Bringing the palms back under the shoulders, let's tuck our toes and come all the way up and back to downward dog. Rounding out that low back a little bit, wiggling out the hips a little bit, bend the knees a little bit. Wonderful. Exhale here in your down dog, and inhale to a plank shape. Exhale, push through those toes, bend the elbows, come down to down to our bellies, untuck the toes, inhale, open up into a cobra, and exhale to lower down. Let's do that 2 more times. You know how to do it. Inhale, come up. Exhale, release. 1 more. Inhale, come up. Exhale, release. Beautiful. Let's go ahead and find that solar plexus. Find that part where we're kind of surfing on our bodies here. Bringing our palms underneath the shoulders, pressing into the tops of the feet. And then starting to extend the arms behind ourselves. We'll point our thumbs to the ground, pinkies to the sky, and just lifting the chest and shoulders up off the ground. Bring the shoulders back away from the ears. Beautiful. Finding our hips and the bottom of the rib cage to see if we can find the lift in the feet, the lift in the legs. Find our pelvis. And just take a moment to fly here. Sending our fingers behind, toes behind, and then maybe we can lift our pinkies up to the sky a little more, lift our legs up a little bit more. Push those feet away from you. Extend those fingertips toward those toes, like we're flying through space here. Hyperspeed. And take a couple more breaths here. Pull back. Pretend we're flying through space. Beautiful. Maintaining that energy in the back and that engagement. Bend both knees. Reach for the ankles or the tops of the feet. Keep the knees in, hip width apart. They always have the tendency to want to flare out. Let's tighten them back in. Feel a hug to the midline of the body. Press the ankles into the palms and let the shoulders be pulled back. Let the knees lift up and let's surf a little more on our bellies. Letting our neck be really long here, hugging those knees in, keeping them hip width apart, but hugging them in toward the midline. Press into those hands, lift up, allow yourself to flare open. Reach forward with the chin, reach forward with the neck, reach forward with the crown of the head. Instead of sinking our neck back into the shoulders, send the crown forward. One more breath. Press, press, press. And then release. Cross the arms, release the forehead, and take rest. In through the nose, out through the nose, take rest. Couple more breaths here, just for you. Wiggle, rock, do what you like to do here. Wonderful. Let's bring our palms in toward ourselves underneath the shoulders. Finding the grounding in our bellies and bringing our forearms underneath, our elbows underneath where our shoulders are. So coming into a Sphinx shape. A nice proud cat here. Bringing our chin to about a 90-degree angle. Finding a grip in the mat with our palms, shoulders over top of our elbows. Pressing into those elbows to create lots of length in the neck. And if you'd like to, you can get a grip of the mat a little more with the hands and pull the mat toward you to bring the rib cage forward to find a deeper back bend here. Keeping the neck long, pressing into those elbows. And we can press down in the elbows and kind of use the mat to pull them apart a little bit to feel a little more broadness in our rib cage, a little more area to stretch and breathe. Let's stay here for 2 more nice big breaths. We can press into the tops of the feet a little bit to take some pressure off the low back. Can engage the core, lifting up through the rib cage, bringing the belly in toward you. And then our next breath is just simply open up our hands to the corners of our mat. So I'm just flaring open the hands, pointing them in the corner directions, getting a grip of the mat. And if you'd like to push the mat away to lengthen out those arms, coming into a seal pose, I guess some people call this, letting the shoulders come away from the ears, pressing into the tops of the feet, feeling really grounded in our pelvis. And just feeling the back bend a little bit lower perhaps, let the shoulders fall from the ears. And we'll take 2 more breaths here. Let the ground support you in this back bend. One more. Beautiful. Release down to the elbows. Bring the hands back in parallel to those elbows, and then the hands back where the elbows were. Pressing into the ground, tuck our toes, send ourselves up and back to downward dog. Enjoy, go slow, and notice whatever there's to notice. Feel whatever there's to feel here. A little bit different in our downward dog. Wonderful. Let's have a look between our fingers, between our thumbs, and have a hopper step toward them into a forward fold shape. So let yourself walk nice and slow toward the top of the mat. Let the body hang as much as you like to. Bend the knees as much as you like to. Hinge the hips nice and deep. Let the upper body just be really heavy here. Perhaps adding a little extra weight by grabbing onto our opposite elbows or to the back of the neck, the nape of the neck. Wonderful. Coming up, a half lift. Send our rib cage forward. Belly in on the exhale to fold. Inhale, rise all the way up, big tall stretch, all the way up to the ceiling, and exhale, hands to heart center. Wonderful. Making sure the feet come into about hip width apart. Set ourselves up in our mountain pose. Shoulders over hips, hips over ankles, ears over shoulders. Turn our palms out forward, let the shoulders fall away. Close the eyes if you like to, breathe through the heart. Beautiful. Interlacing the fingers and bringing them to the back of the neck, so the nape of the neck and where it scoops up into that little bone and the head is where we're going to place our palms. So interlacing those fingers there. Wrapping the elbows in toward the face. So let them come in as tight as they will. Beautiful. Inhale through the heart center, lifting the center of the chest up toward the ceiling. And let the head just come back into the hands. So we're going to keep the sensation, or keep the shape of the arms and keep the shape of the hands. I'm just going to inhale more and more into the upper chest. Inhale through the heart. Exhale, let the head fall back into those hands, keeping those elbows in. Inhale, upper chest. Rib cage lifts. Exhale, we let the head fall back into the hands. Inhale, upper chest in through the heart. Exhale, let the head fall back into the hands. Beautiful. Let's take just 3 more breaths here. In through the heart. Exhale to bring the belly in, perhaps to let the head fall back a little bit more. In through the nose, out through the nose, 1 more. Beautiful. As we exhale, carefully using the hands just to bring the head back, releasing down, releasing the hands by our side, turn the palms up, release the shoulders, close the eyes and just take a couple breaths here. Just a little more intensity before we decide to come back down into the ground and come into our Shavasana. So making sure we're still hip width apart with our feet. And just creating a little bit of difference here. Actually, let's go ahead and take the feet just a little closer. So we're going to snuggle those feet together so that we can squeeze our inner line of our legs and our inner line of our body and feel really supported and feel our root come up and feel just nice and supported here. So we're going to squeeze the knees together, the legs together as if they're one leg. Bring our arms up, big reach, big tall stretch. Exhale, hands through the heart center, bend the knees, hinge the hips and come into forward fold. Come into a half lift for 2 breaths. So pressing into our shins, sending the rib cage forward, shoulders back. Inhale. Exhale, scooping the belly in, pushing the tail away from you. Use maybe the hands to encourage that sensation. 1 more in through the upper chest. Exhale, belly in, send the hips back. Press into the hands, feel the shoulders, a little tension. Inhale, upper chest. Exhale, scooping the belly in and folding down. Use up the space that you made. Beautiful. Pressing into the feet. Let's raise ourselves all the way up. Big, tall stretch all the way. Interlacing the fingers, bringing them back to that little scoop in the head, just above the nape of the neck. Wrapping those elbows in. Let's go ahead and bend through the knees, send the hips behind yourself, letting the majority of the weight be in our heels and in the back half of the foot and not as much in the toes, so we can just kind of float the toes a little bit. Beautiful. Inhale through the heart center, send the rib cage forward, send your tail back, as if we're in that little back bend here, kind of in a cow pose. Inhale through the upper chest. Exhale, let the head fall back into the hands. Sit a little deeper if you need to. Find the flare in your back. Wrap the elbows around. Inhale, upper chest. Exhale. Beautiful. Sending the head back into the hands a little bit more. And we'll stay here for 2 more big breaths. Inhale through the heart center. Exhale, let the head fall back into the hands. And inhale, start to push the ground away with the feet, lengthening out the body, sending the arms up and toward the sky. And exhale, hands to heart center. Beautiful. Release the hands, relax the shoulders, take the feet a little bit wider. Inhale, arms up, big reach. Exhale, forward fold. Soft knees, hinge the hips. Bend so deep that we can plant the palms down and come onto the knees. So we'll step back onto our knees into a tabletop shape. Take a breath here, feel how your tabletop feels. Feel the hands on the ground, the knees, the tops of the feet or the toes. Press the ground away. We'll just turn our tail open, drop the belly, lift the heart forward into our cow pose. Exhale to round the tail in, to round the spine and tuck the chin. Inhale to open up, pull the mat toward you if that helps you. Exhale, push the mat away from you to round the spine if that helps. And just a couple more for yourself. Moving nice and slow. Noticing how your spine feels. Like a wave opening up through the tail. Lifting the chin and chest. And then bring yourself in like a wave. The tail comes in, round the spine, tuck the chin. Come back to a neutral shape. Let's go ahead and just bring the knees to the side, scooping our knees to the side so that we can come onto our backs. So all the way around onto our backs. When we get there, feel absolutely free to bring the knees in toward the chest, to really round out the spine. To give yourself a little massage. It always feels good no matter what, even if you haven't done any yoga. I think knees to chest is just a beautiful little pose. I like to draw horseshoes shapes with my knees, so feel free maybe if you'd like to bring your arms overhead like I do, bend the elbows, and just draw horseshoe shapes with the tips of the knees, snuggling the legs together. It just targets a few muscles that I always like targeted. Maybe circles are best for you. Maybe holding on to the legs is helpful, or the backs of the thighs. Wonderful. Let's go ahead and set our feet down with our knees bent. We're going to walk the heels in toward our bums just a little bit so we feel really secure with the foot on the ground, where it just feels kind of glued to the ground. Bringing our palms along our side, we'll walk the fingertips toward the toes to lengthen out the neck, to just bring the shoulders away from the ears a little bit. Oops. And then go ahead and press into the feet an equal amount to bring the hips up toward the sky. Bring the hips up really, really, really high. Keep the knees parallel with our hips as well, so keeping them in. It's a good idea to imagine that midline, imagine the center of the body, and just kind of hugging it in toward that center, using the muscles to hug in and keeping the body where it is. And just noticing what it feels like to gather in toward the center. Beautiful. Push into those feet a little bit more. Raise the hips a little bit more. Lots of room to breathe in the upper chest. Maybe close the eyes and take just another breath here. Wonderful. Releasing the hips down really slow. Take your time. Wonderful. Let's go ahead and walk the feet a little bit away from the body. Bring the knees over the hips. The arms over the head, bend the elbows. And we'll just let our knees fall over to the left side. So just let them collapse over to the left side, encouraging the shoulders to be glued toward the ground. So if you need to extend the left arm to the side a little bit to feel a little bit more glueness, a little bit more security with the shoulder, or a cactus shape, feel free to do that. We'll close our eyes and look away from the knees. So down the left arm if we extended that, or down the right arm if we extended the right arm, or to the right side. So if our knees are to the left, we'll look to the right. But if you took the other way, that's totally fine too. And just a nice big breath here in your twist. And go ahead and bring the arms back overhead. If you extended the arm, bring the knees back in toward the chest and just rock yourself a little bit side to side, and then let the knees fall over to the other side. So the opposite side that you went on, over to the right if you went to the left, over to the left if you went to the right. Encouraging the shoulder, the opposite shoulder, to be glued toward the ground, so extending the left arm if you'd like to. Finding the shoulder a little more secure toward the ground, and looking down the left arm, or to the opposite side away from the knees. And just a little spinal twist. One more breath. Beautiful. Arms back overhead, knees back in toward the chest. And we'll set our feet down. And go ahead, just extend the body nice and long. Maybe the arms feel good exactly where they are. If our low back was worked quite a lot and we'd like to support it, feel free to walk the feet a little wide, bend the knees, and just let the knees fall in toward each other. Let them kind of tent in toward each other to support. Otherwise, let's extend our body long. Maybe the arms overhead, maybe it feels good to have open chest. Maybe it feels nice to have the arms along our side, turning the palms open, spinning the thumbs away from the body. And then just finding those little micro adjustments you need to feel comfortable moving some fleshy spots of the body out of the way to spread across the floor. I encourage you to close your eyes if you feel safe and comfortable to do so. Let's take a little trip inside the body, using the breath. So feeling the inhale tickle the cusp of the nose, the edges of the nostrils, down into the back of the throat, into the lungs, feeling the ribcage flare open, maybe feeling the belly expand, and then following the breath as it comes out of the body. The belly comes back down toward the ground, the ribcage comes back together, the chest falls toward the ground ever so slightly, and we become a little emptier. Inhale, following that first little sweet inhale through the nostrils. Maybe slightly in the mouth, across the palate, on the roof of the mouth, in the back of the throat. Feeling the collarbones spread, the shoulder caps fall toward the ground. And just notice the heaviness in the body. Encourage yourself to envelop the heaviness, to accept the heaviness, and to see it as a sweet, as maybe gravity tucking us in, sandwiching us in between the earth and our external environment. But as we breathe and feel the fluidity of breath, we also feel our connection to our outer surroundings, seeping into our inner world. Just let yourself lay here for a couple minutes in peace and stillness, appreciating the movements we've created in the body, the movements that we helped integrate into our minds and our muscles. And I promise I'll bring you back when it's time to come back. And just slowly coming back to our bodies, laying here. Staying exactly where we are. And enjoy the stillness. Enjoy the peace, compassion, and the gratitude. Let those feelings wash over your body, flow into your body, reaching every single cell. Peace, love, gratitude, compassion, and patience. Every cell awakened, ready, and willing to accept those messages. Take a big breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. Let's do that again, in through the nose and out through the mouth. Finding our fingers and our toes. Reaching our arms up over our head toward the crown of the head. Pointing our toes and reaching the fingers away from those toes. And bringing the knees in toward the chest. Let's roll ourselves over to our right side. Just take one breath, curled up in a little ball. Use the arm as a little pillow for yourself. And we'll press into the left palm, reach the left leg out long so you can come back into an easy seat. A nice cross-legged seat or seated shape. I invite you to just sit up nice and tall. Take a breath for yourself, close your eyes. And if you'd like to place one hand on your chest, one on your heart and one on your belly, feel the warmth of your hands. Take the inhale into the upper ribs, reach through, get nice and tall, fully in. And let it go. My heart is at ease, knowing what's meant for me will not pass me by. And what passes me by was not meant for me. Let's take a big sun breath together. Reach our arms up above the head and exhale toward the center of the chest. The light and the love in me honors the light and the love in all of you. Namaste.